I shared this video, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, I don't know. I don't really keep track of it. You know, I'm kind of like a woman with a roster. I just see something I like and I post on it, and just roll on, don't think about it. You know, so I think it was yesterday. It may have actually been the day before when I shared this, but it amazes me how many people have commented on it who didn't like respond to anything having to do with communism. So I'm just like, let me make a video and kind of spell it out. Well, I say nobody. I think J.C. Smith did. I think J.C. Smith made an economic comment. Anyway, I could be mistaken. I am old. Communism is when you collectively pretend the first woman is more attractive than the second woman. Ladies, and the men who pander to them. This is not making fun of ugly women, and it's not celebrating made up, gussied up, haired up, boobed up women. This is not it's not all about y'all, ladies. It's not. This is juxtaposing the woman that is objectively less attractive and the woman who is objectively more attractive on average. I'm not necessarily attracted to women who look like Sydney Sweeney. I'm really not. Anyone who knew me before I got married and is familiar with the kind of women I was always attracted to, of course, I got married when I was 18, 19 years old. But anyone who's familiar with the women that I was attracted to pre-marriage, well, not just pre-marriage, but I'm saying the women that I was associated with in those days can tell you I am not attracted to the big blue-eyed, blonde-haired, typical white gal. But she is objectively more attractive than the gal on the left. The gal on the left will probably make more money longer in her life than the gal on the right, because Sydney Sweeney's beauty has an expiration date on it. The gal on the left probably graduated or will graduate from MIT. Okay? It's a trade-off, ladies. But that's not even what this meme is about. It's simply juxtaposing these two gals on the economic idea of communism. See? And when communism, which will almost always begin as socialism, comes in, it's this system that's supposed to, from every man according to his abilities and to every man according to his needs, we'll just storm the national treasury and we'll just take the money and we'll just divide it all out equally, and no one will have to work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week. No one will go without. We will do away with poverty by seizing all of the assets and resources and dividing them up equally amongst everyone. If I could teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, all of that kind of stuff. And that seems really, really beautiful. It's always instituted at the point of a gun. And socialism and its drug-addicted, meth-head big brother, communism, they always have to be instituted at the point of a gun. I mean, they can't be instituted without the government compelling people to do it. So even though when you hear about it and you think, man, that would be great, there'd be no more hunger, no one would die of quote unquote curable diseases, man, that would be great. It seems pretty, but it's not. Okay? So this is saying communism is when you collectively, that's a play on words, folks. Communism, the core of Marxism, which is where communism springs from, is the collective. It just means the group of workers, the group of people, the group of citizens, the group of humanity, the collective. Under Marxism, the benefit and the welfare of the collective supersedes the benefits and the welfare of any individual. Collective. That's a political science term, you could say. Okay? Communism is when you collectively, meaning the group of people, pretend the first woman is more attractive than the second woman. Okay? It's not saying that the second woman is just freaking attractive. It is not saying that the woman on the left is not attractive. It's saying that communism is when everyone walks around and pretends like the woman on the left is more attractive than the woman on the right. And she's objectively not. I mean, there is a mathematical formula for what the majority of people on this planet consider to be attractive. And people who get more benefits from being attractive, their facial features and body shape and all that sort of stuff come closer to the figure of that formula than people who don't. So we can reasonably conclude that there is a standard of beauty amongst humanity, although from culture to culture, the actual elements may vary. Okay? But that's not even what this meme is about. This meme is not criticizing ugly women. It is not criticizing beautiful women. It's saying that communism is when everybody gets together and just pretends that this gal on the left is more beautiful than this gal on the right. And the only way you can do that is if you get into this la la land, this fantasy land of, well, God looks on the heart. And, someone could be really beautiful and have a terrible attitude and they're really ugly. And all of that kind of stuff that we tell children and everything to try to get them to get along or whatever. But that's what it's about. There's an old saying that comes from the USSR that I've read many, many, many places where they would say, it was kind of an inside joke, where they would say, we pretend to work and they pretend to pay us. That's communism. And that's what this meme is drawing off of. It's when everybody gets together, and even though there's no incentive for innovation, communist countries didn't produce the iMac that I'm using right now to record this video. It didn't produce this ceiling fan over my head. It didn't produce this air conditioner that's dehumidifying and cooling my home. Communism didn't produce that. Capitalism did. And when you add all of that stuff up, I remember hearing someone back in high school say, America is the country of automobiles and Russia is the country of parking lots, because they didn't have any automobiles. Okay, that's a tongue-in-cheek. Don't start commenting to me. They had cars, dang. They had this model and that model. Okay, it's an analogy. It's a comparison. So everybody gets together and says that communism is great, or socialism. Right now, they're saying socialism is great. I mean, look at what happened up there in Mandami in New York City. Every time I think about him getting elected, I think, man, damn it. As the mayor of New York City, everybody's happy, happy, happy. Well, a lot of people are happy, 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 happy because they think they just elected Sydney Sweeney, but they didn't. They elected this gal on the left. And they're going to pretend that the gal on the left, this socialism, communism, is going to be so much more attractive than capitalism was. That's what the freaking meme's about, folks. It's not about being sexist, and it's not about celebrating Sydney Sweeney or any of that. But I got up this morning, and I got this right here. Some gal here, Christina Buer, post a picture. It looks like, I don't know, is that Sydney Sweeney's driver's license photo? Yeah. I mean, it's like, so there's a picture of Sydney Sweeney without makeup on. Okay. I would venture to say Sydney Sweeney without her makeup on. Since this woman and others are so hell-bent on talking about which one of these are prettier than the other, I would venture to say that Sydney Sweeney's photo right there without any makeup on is still objectively more attractive than that gal on the left. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's just what I'm getting at. But my point here is it's not about who's the most beautiful woman. And what's amazing is so many women, if you start asking them to compare, like in person, the beauty of one woman over another. Oh, we're all beautiful. You slay queen. Oh, we're all superstars. We're all a 10. We're all so sexy and all that sort of stuff. But you let them be anonymous or relatively anonymous, like in this comment right here, or you let them feel threatened in some way, either personally or politically, by some beautiful woman, and the claws will come out. Yes, they will. And I'm Dane.